Hey guys, this is Locke. This is my review of More, the water Kotodoma that just released yesterday. First of all, I think she's actually a very, very good unit. I think there's a lot of things that she does which makes her very good. But I mean, as the title of the video goes, it's not worth it for me to get her, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But first of all, I'm going to talk about her strengths. So, I feel the reason that she's very good is because of the combination of skills that she has. First of all, jamming thrust on her red mage sub is very, very good. It has a range of 5 and a height range of 2, which is very useful, especially for class match type scenarios. Um, and then she has Asuna, which is also very good because so many enemies have uh, all kinds of status effects that you would like to remove. It's too bad that doesn't remove charm or stop, but like disable, it removes disable, it removes berserk. Those two are very commonly used, so it's very good that she has Asuna, and then she has Cura, which is like a nice extra thing to heal. I'm not planning on using her as a healer if I had her, but it's like a nice extra benefit. Um, Also, on top of that, now she has nimble movement, +1 jump, +1 move. This is something that I would typically look for in units. If they have that, that is a huge bonus for me, especially for class match type scenarios where 4 move jump 2 is very, very good. And evade unevadable pain, 100% hit. It does have a cast time, but that is, again, a skill that I've used. And I think those are probably the main skills: unevadable pain, nimble movement, and jamming thrust. Those three together, in my opinion, make a very good unit. Now, her limit burst also it decreases water resistance by 38%. This is regardless of what the water resistance is. This is going to take effect. Like if they have 0% water resistance, that's going to go down to -38. So this will always do extra damage. So um, so the three skills that I mentioned and the fourth, I think that makes for a very good unit. Now, the reason that I'm specifically not going to go for her is because I already have a unit that I feel is quite similar to her, and that unit is uh, 1 second, Silva. So Silma, in my opinion, has very similar. Actually, she has all the same skills that I'm really looking for. So she has jamming thrust on her main skill because she's a red mage main, and then on the Kochidoma sub, she has nimble movement and unevadable pain. Those are the three that I'm really looking for. And when I have used her, like in the previous class match, those three were the skills that I used very often. Um, I have used a couple of other skills like the Crimson Resistance skill. That's quite nice as well because it gives an additional buff. So, I mean, is that worth it over some of Moore's job level 25 skills? I mean, yes and no. Like Moore gets a chance of inflicting silence. She will have high faith, so this will probably be like a 49%, 47% chance, or was it 49%? 49% chance to land silence on an enemy that also has 50 faith. Sorry, not 50, 97 faith. So that is probably like that's a good skill. Is that better than the resistance that Silma gives? Yes and no. It really depends. But the main thing for me is because I already have one unit that can do all those things that I really like. Uh, it's not worth it for me to get a second unit that does those same things but is more defensive. Like obviously she has the anti-magic life wall, which is a very defensive skill. It gives you huge magic resistance. Um, and then she has her limit burst that I talked about earlier. And I mean, those are, I think, the main thing. She also has another upgrade which increases her HP by 12% under the Fire Spirit's Blessing, and it also increases Spirit additionally from 12 to 18. So this she obviously does have something more than Selma. She has a lot more HP. First of all, like even if you look at the raw stats of the two characters, I compared them earlier. She has a lot more HP because I mean she's also a UR where Selma is an MR, so I expect her to have overall better stats. She also has a lot more magic than Selma does as well. And as I mentioned here, she has a lot better like Survivability Skills. She has the Anti-Magic Life Wall, which does really well, and then she has a better passive, which increases her HP and Spirit. So she does really good against other magic damage dealers. So she's good, and she has an edge over Silma. But to me, I already have Silma at level 120, and it's not worth it for me to spend all these resources pulling her, and then also additional resources getting her to 99 and then EXing her over like the additional benefit from Silma is not, sorry, the additional benefit from more is not worth it for that cost over using Selma. But that's me. There might be other reasons for you to invest in Selma. You might really like, sorry, not Selma, I keep mixing up the character's name. You might really like more, and you might want to invest in her. Like maybe it's a waifu reason. She looks great, right? So maybe you want to go for that. Or maybe you really are into water characters as well. Like maybe water team is what you've decided to really focus on, and so you want to go for every water unit that comes up. There's one thing I want to say about water units actually. Like when I started, from my very first CM, I ran a for the entire CM of the first one, I ran a full water team. I ran Glashella, Ildira, and Miranda, and I did pretty well. But I was also very lucky to not run into too many Thunder teams or Thunder Gunners. But I really like water teams. The reason that I'm not really playing water teams too much now is because there are so many key units that I'm still waiting for the EX upgrade. Winter Victor has one, Ildira has one. Glacial, I kind of know what her upgrades are coming, but it's not here in Global yet. We have it released in JP and we're still waiting. So I have Titus and I have more, and those are the two that I already have. That I mean, I don't have more, but if I were to get more, Titus and more would be the key units that I would run, and I would really want a third good unit to run alongside them if I was going to run a water team. So I don't. I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be a bit before I can really get a water team set up, and by the time I'm able to get that water team set up, I think I might probably have pulled more from a random pull and maybe gotten like some of her shards from here and there. So I don't feel like it's a big rush for me to get her right now and build her for those two reasons. The first reason is that I already have Silma, which I feel like she does a lot of very similar things. Of course, More has an edge, which I talked about. She has a lot of things that she does better than Silma, and she does like on top of Silma. Like she can also function as a magic tank. But I feel like it's just not worth it for me to get more for that. And the second reason I mentioned is because I don't have a water team set up just because a lot of their EXs are not out yet.